All right, we'll wait on a couple of people to get in here before I really start into anything because I don't want people to miss this one. It's going to be a really good, really enlightening live stream for everybody. Something that everybody has been leaving a lot of comments on the last video that I did and wanting to see some, I guess, real things put out. Now, I don't know about comments if I'm going to be able to see that real well. So if somebody okay, there is somebody in here leaving comments, so I can actually see you guys. I want you guys to be involved in this live stream. I want you guys to be able to put any kind of input you want in here. I would like for everybody to be kind of civil and show, a little bit of respect to it. But we're gonna be here showing you guys some live testing on the Tribus wrenches that everybody wants to see from the last video. I know somebody else put out a video denouncing what I did in the testing and everything with the Tribus wrenches. So I really want to be able to show you guys what I did with testing, and we're gonna do some on-hand ANSE actual live testing of their wrenches as well, so everybody can see that. So just waiting on a couple other people to get in here just to make sure everyone's in. And I just did want to show everyone exactly where we are at. So I am actually here at Tribus Tools, actually at their facility, so we can see some actual wrenches and see how they were made, what kind of processes they went through, ones that are ready to ship out. So you guys don't have any questions on it. If you guys do have any questions about anything that we see later on when we're going to be doing testing, please leave comments in here so we can do that, because I don't want any other questions after this. I just really want you guys to be able to be informed and to be able to do this. So here we've got their nice little display, all their different kind of prototypes and everything that they're doing. And I've got one of their really awesome, one of their startup guys, one of their engineers, Clark, is back here in the back to be able to help me with a lot of the testing today. So still just wait another little bit for everyone to roll in here. I know we got 45 people in here, but I want to see a couple more just to make sure everyone's here. Excuse me. Hopefully everybody else is having a pretty fantastic, decent weekend to them. This place is like a maze. All right, kind of head back here to the back into their manufacturing facility, which we've got here. And I do apologize for some of the shaking camera and everything. I'm using my phone. Usually I'm used to using a gimbal and a nice camera and everything. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Waiting on a couple more people to get in here. All right. So the first thing that I kind of wanted to bring up in this video was everyone else that saw the video that I put out yesterday, and as I'm sure they've seen the video. Sorry, airline's going off. They have seen Justin Sturgill's video denouncing what I did. For what it looks like, he had that video kind of made up about 3 weeks ago, ready to get put out. So let me read this here. Yep. So I'll keep that one in mind when we do the testing here. So in his video, he and I actually had some conversation between each other on the original testing of the early products of these earlier on over in December. And I actually talked to him from Messenger on Facebook. Now, one of the things that he touted on there was that I deleted all of my messages to him. However, that is not the case. I don't delete messages. I don't delete anything like that. It's not what I do. What I put out is what I put out because I believe in it, and that's the way it is. So I had those messages. Now, Facebook, if you know anything about what's been going over there, has changed a few things around. So individual accounts. I had an individual Rust Belt mechanic account. So they have been cracking down on a lot of spam and abusive accounts that are over on Facebook. And my account, somebody had turned in for being a spam account. Well, Facebook, once they see that, they want to see proof of that, they want us to be able to see that Rust Belt Mechanic is my actual name. Well, I can't prove that Rust Belt Mechanic is my actual name because it's not. So after 5 or 6 days of fighting with them, they ended up disabling my account. So if you actually look really closely into his video, you will see the messages that were on his screenshots. They don't show message deleted by anyone. And if anybody knows anything about Messenger, even if I were to delete messages, they wouldn't delete on his end. Facebook has to delete the messages for that to happen. But no, even if they were, they are not marked as that. If you look at, don't break. Yeah, you will see. We're gonna do testing. You guys are gonna see it here. But if you guys look really close at the messages that he showed over on the video, they say this message has been taken down because of abusive or not correct speaking. I'm not sure the exact term, but it was due to my account being turned off pretty much through Facebook. So he didn't ever actually get back with me. He didn't try to email me. He didn't try to get a hold of me on any other accounts, which we all know that we all have Instagram. I have my standard Facebook account that he is also known about because he sent friend requests to me. So he knows where to get a hold of me, but for some reason he did not do so. So there's that part of it done out of the way. Second part to this one is the form of testing in which a lot of the things that I do for testing tools in my videos. I have to apologize to my viewers because there are some testing ways in which I put them through testing in my normal everyday job. I do work at a Dodge dealership and I do, everyday work in there. So that's where I put all of my testing through, is the everyday kind of stuff. I don't always have the chance to take my camera or video when I do all of this testing day to day. So I do highly, highly apologize, and I owe an apology to a lot of my viewers that in that video, there was not a whole lot of hands-on testing shown in that video. Some of the testing that I did, getting it really hot, yeah, that didn't show a whole lot other than me just getting the tool really hot and showing that it still kind of held after that. It's just one of those things where we decided all of a spur of the moment to be able to show you guys, maybe camera, so you guys would enjoy that one. So yes, I understand that that wasn't really great testing for that. And then I showed it on an airline, which Justin also said that these tools would not fit over standard power steering or airlines, but it fit over that airline and actually worked. So the issues that I had, so that's a good question with that one. Normally, when I start to talk to companies, they're early on in their production or pre-production or whatever it might be with a lot of these tools that I do testing with. And this company was no different. Have you guys ever heard of Tribus tools before this, or before Justin decided to put any of this information onto his Instagram account saying, oh, look, here's my coupon code because I'm working with them, which he has since taken down. So, no. So, easy with this one. Yeah. So with the testing on this one, it was early form testing. They did end up having a couple of issues with the original lines that they had with the original tools they had with some of the nitride coating. Yep, we're getting through a lot of these questions here. So sorry if I miss a couple of them. I know there's like 80 people in here. I just want to be able to get through some of the information first. And yes, Everyday Fleet Tech, we will get through and we're going to show you max torque, and we are going to actually take all of these wrenches to their max torque to show you guys what they're actually going to do. But anyways, where you go? Train of thought. Totally jumped off there. So the testing that I did on these didn't show enough for you guys, and I do really apologize about that one. But the testing that I do for these companies ahead of time is because they're in pre-production. Now, if you go to look at a brand new tool or a brand new product of any kind, whatever it might be, you're gonna do these testings for this company before you do a video on them. So I did some testing for these wrenches and had about a week's worth of testing into them, and about a week's worth in, 2 of them failed. They cracked. One of mine failed, and it ended up that they said that 2 of the wrenches in that set were improperly heat treated. So the one wrench had cracked, and I actually talked to Justin about that because he had one that had cracked and failed. And this is all a part of testing. Some of these newer companies, if they wanted to divulge and show to you how many failed units that they had come through their lines before they actually went into, you know, full outbreak and showing everything and, you know, full out selling them, you guys would say, okay, we had 357 failures, and, you know, that was our issues before we went into full production. So a lot of these things, yes, they are going to have issues, and I also want to give those companies, I want to be able to take these companies seriously and give them a chance on these amazing products that they want to put out, and to be able to show exactly what they are, you know, really made of. So I want to give them the full test and give them the benefit of the doubt in the initial testing of the early on tools. So that's what I do with those tools. So that information is out there. And before we get into testing, I also wanted to squash another one of those comments that quite a few people in my video and his had been saying ahead of time, in that it was a bought and paid for advertisement. Number one, I was never paid any money ahead of time to do any of this advertising. Number two, yes, they were going to be giving me a cut into each one of the items that were sold. It was going to be about 10%-ish of each of the items sold as income to me for doing a video on that. And affiliate accounts are set up all the time with everybody's YouTube channel. If you want to see the biggest affiliate account coming through, why don't you guys hop on over to Mr. Justin Sturgill's account and look at, we'll say, any of the last 15 of his videos. Look in the description of those videos. You see what, 20, 30, sometimes even 35 of these links, Amazon affiliate links. Did you know each one of those links he gets paid for? What? He gets paid to do reviews? Oh my gosh, the tragedy of this one. It's so harsh. So, affiliate links. He is the king of the affiliate link guy. So if you look and you see those affiliate links, if you don't know how they work, each one of those clicks that you go over to his affiliate account for actually goes over and he gets paid for anything you purchase. Not just that one item he gets a click off of. That actually stores a cookie onto your IP address that when you go over to an affiliate link for the next 24 hours, anything you purchase on Amazon after you click on over is going to get him paid, or anybody for that amount paid for Amazon affiliates. Yes, this is about Amazon affiliates. So affiliate things in this tool industry is not a new thing. It really isn't. And just to show you guys that I am really serious about what I do, and I'm serious about these tools and standing behind them before we even do the hands-on testing here today, I'm going to disable, which it's already been done before this video has been made, I'm going to read this real quick. Yep. I mean, he very well might, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him because I personally do not know Justin Sturgill. I do not know him personally, so I'm not going to say anything bad about his character or anything like that. I will take the high road on that one. You guys can make the decision for however you will do anything from his channel. You go watch it and you make your own mind up on that one. So before we get into this one, like I was saying, with the affiliate on this specific tool, before I had put a coupon code and link in that video that was code RustBelt, was going to get you 5% off of these tools as well as free shipping, and that was also where you were going to get a kickback for that one. Bikes, cars, and guns, also FYI, I receive 0 affiliate from SP Tools. 0, none. Just an FYI on that one. I have told people that multiple times. I receive 0 money in affiliate links. I do receive free tools from them for testing and a lot of other free, they took me to SEMA and everything, but I've never received 1 dime of cash from SP Tools USA. Just letting you guys know that one. But how serious I am that I don't really want to get paid off of this one, and I don't need the money by any means from the affiliate links for any of these things that I do. They actually, per my request, had disabled the Rust Belt Mechanic discount for these tools. What's up, Shaka? Thanks for coming in, and I appreciate it, man. All the support, all the love. Thanks, bud. So they have disabled my Rust Belt Mechanic affiliate link because I don't want to make any money off of these. I still am going to be here today showing you guys their tools and how they are made and what kind of torque specs that they're going to be held to, as well as a lot of other information. But I am going to make zero money off of any of these tools because there will be no links, no way to be able to link Rust Belt Mechanic to Tribus tools. So I will make zero money off of this one. So just letting you guys know, if you guys like the tools for what they are and you like the tools for how we show them to you, then you guys will be able to see that. So now that we got all of the little things out of the way, we have quite a few bit of tests here to be able to show you. So I'm going to flip this around here and show some of the stuff. And like I said, we are here in their facility here in Englewood, Ohio, like I showed in the beginning of the video. And here we have Mr. Clark, who is one of the founders of Tribus Tools, and he is a very, very knowledgeable guy. He's got an amazing beard, which we can all, you know, kind of stand up guy for that one. But he is a load of knowledge and information to be able to give to you guys on these tools, and we're gonna go through some testing and everything for those. So I appreciate you being here today to be able to show the real information for these.
Yeah, no problem.
So first off, we want to answer one of the questions that the viewers had as far as the actual quality and the steel that you guys are using here in shop. Like, you guys are getting the steel, not from China, or anything like that.
All of the steel is 100% US based. We have all of the material certs that come from the company that we buy our steel from. If anybody is in manufacturing, Alro Steel is a really big company. All of our steel comes from there. We keep all of the certs. It's all US made. And for people that want to know what's in the cert, is it takes a full metal composition of any of the hardness of the material, the how much carbon is in it, et cetera, to meet the spec of the material that we use. There's no buying from China. Everything comes from within 20 minutes of our shop.
So in the respect to the wrenches, how much percentage-wise of these wrenches are made right here in-house?
We make every single piece of this wrench in-house, including the little shoulder bolt. The only thing that we don't make in-house that we purchase elsewhere are 2 springs that load the pawls, a snap ring, and a what's called a Belleville washer, which gives us the tension on the flex head. And all of those products are 100% made as well.
In the U.S.
100% U.S. made. There's no buying anything from China. Even all of our packaging, the boxes, the foam, everything is 100% made in the U.S. and 90% of it's made in Ohio. All of our heat treat, coatings, all of that stuff is actually it's all in Ohio, not just in the U.S. It's in Ohio.
So there we go. Stand up behind what they actually do and the materials that they are actually using. Now we can see some of the devices and the machines here in the background, of which everything is actually made in-house. We can see some of the actual internals and the parts that are used in these. All of the checking that they've been in through here and doing, obviously before heat treating, so they look a little bit different. We can go over here and check out some of the ones that are like halfway through being made through the milling processes, more machines, more mills, and there's a whole nother room with even more of them to show that everything is done right here in-house. And we can walk back through some of that if you guys really want to be able to see that, just to be able to show that these guys are serious about what they do. Their machinery is very serious also. So let's get into some actual, I guess, hardcore information here for you guys. So Clark, let me look through a couple of these things here. There we go. So Clark, we've got a couple of ANSE standards, which is the paperwork and all the certification stuff that we actually have to meet here, that you guys have to meet for these tools. What is ANSE standards?
It's actually ASME, which
ASME,
is
sorry.
the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. And what they do is there are thousands and thousands of specifications and standards that they publish for tools, for airlines, for, I mean, almost anything. That's why you can take a lot of parts or like nuts and bolts and wrenches and things like that, and they all work with each other. So they give you the tolerance of what the flat to flat dimension should be on a 7/8 nut. That way, all 7/8 wrenches will fit on the 7/8 nut if it's to ASME spec. There's a lot of tools out there that show that ASME like torque test approved. They meet all the ASME specs, and that is what the basis around designing our tool came from. Now, obviously, there's not a ASME spec on ratcheting flare nut wrenches, just because really
they don't really exist.
Yeah, they don't really exist.
So we have the ASME booklets and standards that they have here for the testing of what the specs and everything are supposed to be and requirements of these. And first off, we're going to show you the tool that we are using today is a Proto. Isn't that the brand of it?
Yes.
So a Proto torque tester, and then we also have all the different sizes of adapters for the wrenches, as well as the certification sheet for this tool that shows that this was calibrated on October 17th of 2019. So it is up to calibration specs. So any kind of testing that we will be doing on this today is on a calibrated machine. So we can see right here, we've got a couple of different things to be able to show you. Now, like Clark was saying, the AMSE standards have some differentiation because they don't have a standard for a flare nut ratcheting wrench. It's just not a standardized group. So we have the standardized settings for the box end ratcheting wrench, as well as the standards for the flare nut wrench in all the different classes that it may have. Now, we also have a sheet over here that kind of transfers over what would be the minimum proof foot-pound reading, because in AMSE standards, they show it in what does it say?
It's pound force inches.
Pound force of inches.
So there's a conversion factor. 100, if you take 100 pound force inches and you multiply it by 0.083, that's the conversion factor for foot pounds. So that's what we did on this sheet. We basically copied all of this information and then added one column for minimum proof foot pounds. So it's easier to relate
what the standard is of what we're actually going to be testing.
Right.
Cool. So we've got that one kind of up here today to be able to show you guys for all of these. And we're going to show you in person what these things are actually going to be holding, not just taking my word for it or whatever anyone else is, because we're going to show you guys everything on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to grab a wrench from the pile of wrenches that are set to be delivered. Like, these are actual orders that people have put in that are ready to get sent out. So any of these cases are already done. We're not just gonna pull the one off the top. Which one do we want? Which one? Any of them? Which one? Third one? Fourth one? Whatever. This one. Fourth one. There we go.
Is that the fourth one?
Yep. Fourth one down. I do see that some people have had a couple of comments deleted. Please, any moderators in here, please do not delete any of the comments unless they are foul language or really, just bad people. So any of these right here, just do not delete their comments. Don't kick them out or anything like that. Just let them be and let them say what they want to. It is totally free and open. We don't need to delete their comments. Okay, so we're going to be testing the set of wrenches Got all their packaging and crap. We're gonna set it over here so it's out of the way. Stickers, their sheets, and everything right there. So we're gonna start, how about, with just the smallest of them, the 5/8 wrench, right there. You can see 5/8 right there. There we go. So we have all the adapters here that are machined out for all the individual sizes. This one is for a 5/8 inch adapter. So I'm gonna hold the camera and I'm gonna don't take it out of the camera view here.
Okay.
So we know we're not swapping wrenches or anything stupid like that.
All right, so the setting we're on here with the pH is going to show max torque. And then, so if we go through and break the wrench, it's going to show what the max torque is that the wrench took. And do we want to say for the 5/8
So here we
wrench,
go. 5/8 wrench.
for ASME spec is 20 3/4 foot-pounds.
So for per ASME spec, a 5/8 flare wrench, which when you guys are purchasing these flare wrenches is what you're really purchasing these for. So we're going to be showing this one of what the actual torque reading is going to be on here. So we want to take it to, what'd you say, 20.75?
20.75.
So let's take it to 20.75.
Let me, I can set this down here and it'll beep when we get there.
Chris, if you watched earlier, I am not making any money off of these. So we can't go that low?
We can't go that low. We'll just do 25.
25. All right, 25. So this is 5 foot-pounds over what they can handle.
Oop. Yep. Oh, I think we missed, because it went up to over and beyond.
So it went up higher than what that was, but
here.
it failed.
Do you want to grab one more?
No.
Okay.
Nope. So that one, we saw exactly what it went to. It was higher than that one. The thing flubbed up in its reading, but we saw that it did not make it to 25. So I'm just showing you guys that exactly what's happening. So that's what that one went to. All right, so next we're going to the 11/16. So let's see, what is the 11/16?
The 11/16 is 25.73.
25.73.
Let me clear this.
Hit 25, hit 28.28.
So there's 28. Now, do we want to take it to breaking now?
So now we're going to take it to the breaking point.
All right. Let me, so I don't bust my hand here.
$51.7.
So double.
So that one is double of what the standard value was for the 11/16. Next one. 3/4 inch. So you guys are seeing this one exactly how they come out of the box. So what is the value on this one?
The value on the 3/4 is 37.35 or 450 pound-feet inches.
37.35. So let's
clear this out. Should we change up our beep in here? Yeah, 37. That was 37.35. That'll be good enough.
Okay. So there we went to 45. Okay. So now we're going to take it to full braking. $96.93 pound-feet. That was the 3/4 inch. We took it to full braking, 96 foot-pounds on that one. And 410, just to let you know, on these wrenches, they are not switching back and forth or anything like that. They're not, you can't switch it between forward and reverse. They only go one direction and one direction only. So just showing that one to you guys, that's it. So next one here, we've got the 13/16. And what's the, they have a lifetime warranty, 410. Yeah, 410, they have a lifetime warranty on these. Just letting you know on that one. So this one being the 13/16, the AMSE number.
The same 37.35 or 450 pound-feet inches.
Okay, so this AMSE standard is 37.35.
This.
So obviously 37, we're past, there's 47.
All right, now we'll take it
There
to
we go.
braking.
Now we'll take it to the breaking point. Well, let me get out of his way here because this one's kind of getting serious. Failed. Exploded at 118 foot-pounds. Putting some stress on there, Clark.
Yeah.
So 118 foot-pounds for that one. And now we're to the last one. There we go. And we have the 7/8. So let's look over here at the book. At the 7/8. 7/8 AMSE standard is 51.875 right there.
See, that was 51.
Yep. So this is, like I said, 7/8 wrench right here, which this is going to be the size for O2 sensors, NOx sensors, whatever you guys might be using, most of the automotive settings, and that's definitely what we're using them for. So 52.6 right there. Now let's take it to failure, see if Clark can break something. That was a big explosion. You all right, buddy?
Yeah.
You all right?
Nobody got anything in their eyes?
No. 226.1 foot-pounds. So there we go. Just to show you guys what we had. The only wrench that we had that did not make standard was the smallest one, the 5/8 inch wrench. We saw it was
I think it got to about 18, 19.
18 or 19, which is 1 foot-pound shy of the AMSE standards. So just showing you guys exactly what they can do, what they can meet. So there you go. No, it's not on Newton meters. It's on pound-feet of torque. Let's see, foot-pounds. It's not on Newton meters. No, we didn't set anything goofy like Newton meters. We showed it exactly how they are.
Yeah, this light is for when you reach the specified torque that you set in this screen. So if you see this light show up, that means you hit that.
There we go.
If you were in Newton meters, this little arrow would be down here. I can see where that can be kind of confusing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And what is the warranty on these tools?
They're a lifetime warranty. So if anybody wants Justin Sturgill's set, we'll replace them for you.
So yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
You break it, then we'll replace it. Pretty much no questions asked unless you sit here and put a big bar on it.
The light, as we were showing you guys, the light does not mean the Newton meters. There's an arrow right here that points to what it's supposed to be on. It's on foot-pounds, guys.
Yeah, we can.
And David Drake, you can look at the beginning of this video. I actually told you guys what it was. I never deleted any of the messages to him. And if you guys look into his video, you can see that all of those messages showed that it was taken down due to abusive language or anything like that. So it goes to show you.
You want me to grab one more wrench just to show the lights and how it's not in
Yeah.
Newton meters?
Yeah, we'll show. Let's grab one more wrench. Another random wrench.
Grab another 5/8.
There we go. We'll grab another one just to show you guys it's not on Newton meters. He's not caring right now about busting whatever tools here. There we are. Grabbed another wrench out of the bin. All right. Well, 5/8.
Okay, so to show that it's not in Newton meters, we're going to set this. Hold on. We'll just set this really high. Try to anyway. All right. Let it zero itself out. All right, there.
So all zeroed out. None of the other lights are on. It is
The
on
foot-pounds.
foot-pounds. So there we are.
All right, now as we can see, we're not hitting the lights yet because we had it set to, what is it, like 70 or 80
Yes.
some foot-pounds.
There we go. Broke at 51 or 61.06 foot-pounds. So that was the 5/8 right there.
Yep, this first one was definitely no good and got through.
Nope.
But if this were to happen, we would send one right back out to you free of charge. We cover shipping. Basically, just if you send us a quick picture, say, hey, it's broken. Pretty much here you go.
That was another small wrench, Mike DeFranco. You can see
This was
that was the 5/8 that we just did and just
Yeah, so
ran
we
on
have
here.
2 5/8 out here. Every other wrench. So we have a
Yep, you can see. So you can see what that one got to.
broken. Still broken. Don't know what the 7/8 exploded into.
And yeah, the other exploded ones that blew apart.
This one down here.
Yep, that's the big one that exploded earlier. So that one's the one that was the big one that exploded.
Yeah, it was 210 foot-pounds.
So we want to answer another question that a lot of comments were on the failures from the other guy's video, was from the earlier testing ones on why they had failed as far as the heat treat process. We do have one of them here that we can go to show where the heat treating process had failed them. Can you talk a little bit about the black nitride coating and
Yeah.
what had failed?
So, our coating on the wrench, not being a black oxide like most typical black tools are, like impact sockets and such, it's a black nitride. And in this process, they basically go into a big tank of different chemicals and things like that, and they're heated up, and so on and so forth. However, during that process, what it does to the steel is it penetrates the steel about 8 thousandths deep, and replaces the carbon with nitrogen, or no, the oxygen with nitrogen. Sorry, not carbon. Replaces the oxygen with nitrogen, and that's what makes it really corrosion resistant. This is used and was originally developed for the oil field, for like deep sea drilling and things like that, to where their stuff's not going to get all crusty and nasty as soon as they use it in the ocean. That was a big application for nitride. It's also a huge application in firearms. But what happened was it went through the first time, and during this process, some of you may know this process is QPQ if you're into firearms. The QPQ stands for quench, polish, quench. So the quench is going into the tank for a X amount of time at temperature, doing the actual nitride process. Then they come out, and then they get what's called polished, essentially glass beaded. And what happened was we sent out a big batch of parts to be glass beaded, or to be nitrided, and during the glass beading process, the company that did it, somebody must have fell asleep while they were glass beading all of our parts, and glass beaded through a lot of the finish. And you can actually even see on the top of this handle how that area is just kind of like splattery looking, and kind of down to the metal. It doesn't affect any of the corrosion properties. It really doesn't affect the wrench at all, but a lot of them were pretty bad, and we didn't want to send that out to any customers because it looks bad. You don't want to send out bad looking product to customers. So what we did was we sent all the parts back, and the company said that they would go ahead and redo them, and they were supposed to be redoing them at a lower strength, if you will. Basically, it was more of a dip, or dip and hold for a few minutes and pull out instead of a few hour long process, to not deepen the case harden on the wrenches. And the parts went through full strength again. So all the parts got essentially double case hardened, which went more deep into the material. And if you see through here, and this is where the wrenches will break, is right here, because this is the thinnest part of the wrench. And it's especially more potent, if you will, on the smaller wrenches, because these walls get smaller as the wrenches get smaller. So if you think from a percentage standpoint, say this was 100 thousandths wide, so 0.1, and if you were supposed to have 8 thousandths per side, so you're at 0.1 or 0.016, so 16% of that wall thickness is super hard. So if it's double done, and it actually went up to about 14 to 15 thousandths deep, you now went up to 30%. I mean, you doubled your percentage of how deep that case harden goes through this, making it really brittle. The nitride finish puts about a 62 to 65 Rockwell finish case hardened on these, which is great when it's done to the 8 thou deep spec, 6 to 8 thousandths deep.
So pretty much you guys got hosed by the people who were doing your nitride process. They overdid it, and that's what happened on a batch of the 2 different size wrenches.
Yeah, and we actually are no longer using that company. It was nice because the company was local. They were only 30 minutes away from our shop. We would load a skid up into the truck and deliver it ourselves over there, pick up ourselves, and that was that, and they were only 30 minutes away. Now we're sending these to northern Ohio. It's about 3.5 hours away, so we're paying for trucking and things like that now to get better results.
Yep.
So that problem's been solved, and we're moving forward.
Cool.
But it did suck to basically trash like 600 wrenches.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing that I kind of want to get into is a lot of the guys, the biggest problem they have on these is the fact that they cost a lot.
Yeah.
So as you guys can see from some of these being broken apart, as well as all of the machining processes that they have to this one, is a lot of the course on why they really are costing what they cost. Can you go through some of the processes to show us on why the cost is so high on this one? And somebody's also asking, why would you not chrome them?
Okay, so I'll answer the chrome question first.
Okay.
So the big reason why we're not doing chrome is, so chrome is a very inconsistent process. And when I say inconsistent, it's inconsistent in thicknesses. So companies like Snap-on, they have their own chrome lines in their shop. so they can try to control it as much as they can. It's still not an exact science. We actually have some early wrenches, some early prototypes up front in the case that were chromed, and we went through, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 different chroming places, trying to get consistent results, and it just wasn't happening. Chrome is also really expensive.
So it would make the whole process cost even more.
Right, it would cost even more. And one of the big things is with the tolerances that we hold on the tool, the chrome inconsistencies take up all that tolerance. You wouldn't be able to make it with the tolerances that we're using consistently, because chrome can vary a lot, and you have to build in clearance or else things aren't going to fit, or you got to try and pick and match parts, and it's a big headache. Chrome also flakes off, it gets damaged.
Whereas this is actually chemical process of coating for these, so it's not going to come off or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, unless you took a die grinder to it and just started grinding away material to get down below the nitride layer, you're not going to have any rusting issues. You're not going to have, I mean, any type of like surface issues. To where chrome, you can have that over time.
Gotcha.
So
So now, one of the other questions that we had from the whole process was the hardware that's actually on the inside, the little paws and everything.
Yeah.
Can we go over and look at that machine and kind of talk about the process on that one, as well as the diamond-like coating that you guys use on the hardware parts?
Yeah. So over on this side of the shop, it's where our Swiss machine is. Sorry, it's a little loud over here. Our compressor's in the back corner of this side. So this machine over here is what makes our paws. And I can actually, give me 1 second here.
Sorry about the noise, guys. We're just going to show you a little bit of the use in the machines of what they're actually doing here.
So, maybe we give it about another 45 seconds or so here, and we'll have a finished part drop out. If anybody likes machine stuff, so the front side, which is kind of hard to see now, is kind of backing around there towards the center of the machine, is machining the front side of the part. This side back here that we see is machining the back side of the part at the same time that the front's being done. And what we'll see here shortly is, so this side is dropping our part in, and it's going to drop down this little conveyor. I don't know if you want to show this. So what's going to happen up here is this sub side is going to go up and pick the part off from the main. It's going to cut it off of a bar, and the bar starts out as 12 feet long. It'll do that here in about 10 seconds. And then back to machining another part, and then the part that we saw drop in fell in right here.
So these are the actual paws.
Here, let me blow this off once so you can get some of the oil and kind of see it.
So there we go.
They have a little bit of burrs and things on them. They go through our tumbler over here before they get heat treated, and it takes all of those off.
So let's go back over to the quieter area and talk about the other coating for those parts. And engraving machine, which they do all of their engraving in-house also.
So the DLC coating, set them on this little bench over here. So here's some of our ratchets.
the ratchet mechanism and our pawl, these don't get nitrated. And the reason these don't get nitrated is because of the case hardening. Because we have sharp points on the teeth, what'll happen is that entire tooth will end up case hardened and they will immediately break off. So on the DLC coating, which is diamond-like carbon, it's a PVD style coating, these parts essentially go into a vacuum plasma chamber. If you YouTube any of like PVD coating stuff, it's pretty wild looking. It looks like Star Wars inside. Stuff flying, like lightning and stuff flying everywhere. It's pretty cool. So, but what it does is it deposits minerals essentially to the surface of the part. It's very, very thin, but this is also extremely hard as a coating, but it doesn't affect the base material. And that's why it's great for this application. The other big thing that DLC does is it has a lot of carbon in it, and carbon is a good lubricating mineral. So we have both of our parts that engage. This pawl does not fit this ratchet. Different size parts, just to let everybody know. But when these parts move across each other, the DLC acts as the lubricant. It's a dry lubricant. You're never going to have to spray oil on them or grease or...
You don't have to worry about sealing them either.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about sealing them. The only thing that you would ever have to do, I did a video kind of dunking it in a bunch of like small like tumbling sand media, trying to get it stuck in there and everything, is you can take an air hose and just, if you just blow for 5 seconds, the wrench functions again. And that's kind of a worst case scenario. It was me literally smashing it into a cup full of like sand and grit. But there's no worries about how to keep them clean or anything like that.
Cool. So that is the whole coating products, the DLC product, how they do all of their products and everything, all in-house right for that one. So really neat stuff that we were able to show you guys today, and make up your own minds on it. I know a lot of the guys in the comments are saying that it's not worth it to what they use it for, and I totally get that one. That is, all for you guys. $350 is a lot of money, but for the guys who are in like the hydraulic and the lines and diesel lines for the injectors and stuff, these are going to come in real handy for those guys to be able to use those on those applications. Like I said, if I'm the one guy who's using these wrenches for like say O2 sensors once a month, yeah, that this whole wrench set might cost a little bit too much for what I'm using it for, but that's not what it's meant for. This is going to be under your guys' discretion on what you guys can use it for and what application.
Do they want to check out a cool, it's a cool video use case for how it fits into an area on a water jet?
Yeah, let's see it. Another in-house use that they actually use their own tools on their own stuff for. Let me flip this around here. Okay.
All right, so on our water jet, a big thing on these, obviously there's tons of lines everywhere, but just as a good use case, something that's easily captured by camera, is if you get down into here, so you don't have, I'm gonna need to put this on the loosen side, enough room. This is not enough room for a wrench to actually
do anything
to do anything. You might be able to get on there and break it loose, but you're not going to be able to get back on. And this is on the outside line. So now when we go to our inside line, actually flip it back to loosen here, I think. So even in here, that was on tight, sorry. I mean, you have enough room to go here. And this isn't necessarily a line that you can get to any other way without pulling off a bunch of other lines.
There's where that nice knurled end helps you get it around to where you need it to be.
Yeah.
So you can get it to the open area.
Sorry, my hands are real oily from the twist, but just kind of a neat little thing to where stuff doesn't fit, and we do. So that's, let me make sure I tighten this line up. That's the last thing I need.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to forget that.
No, that would be bad.
Awesome. Perfect for that one. Now I would have to beg to differ on that one. The 7/8 one, it does take out O2 sensors, and I have used it for that. And as we saw earlier on the torque testing, that what was the 7/8 one up to?
It was like 212.
212 foot-pounds. So if you can't get an O2 sensor off with 212 foot-pounds, I think it's a little bit messed up. So it's not going to be coming out right anyways. So that's just my personal opinion on that one. Like I said, I tried to get through here to be able to show you guys all of the correct information on what these things are used for, the torque testing for that, so you guys have all the information. You can make up your minds on this for yourself however you want. Now, for all the guys who stopped in kind of late, you didn't get to see the beginning of the video to this one. I did say before we did any of this torque testing that I do not need to make the money off of this one. And a lot of the guys in the comments were saying, well, you know, you guys are just trying to make too much money off this. That's all Rust Belt wants to do. Well, I had just letting you know that before this video went live, the Rust Belt Mechanic coupon code for these tools was taken down. So there's no more coupon code on that one. If Tribus Tools later on decides they want to give that discount to everybody who orders one, that is totally up to them, but there is no way to link the Tribus tool sales to Rust Belt Mechanic, so I am making zero money on these wrenches or these tools. I wanted to show you guys the information of how good they were, torque testing of them, so you guys could see them, show you guys the processes, so show you guys the AMSE standards for what they were, and you guys can make up your own minds on any of this information that I put out for you. So hopefully you guys got a better understanding of this and doesn't just take one side of the story on, you know, pre-development wrenches, and, you know, maybe you guys are able to make up your own minds from all of this information. Well, that's about all we've got for you guys today. I appreciate Clark for all of his information and his knowledge, and for showing us some really great stuff here for you guys to enjoy today. So make sure you guys go check out their stuff if you want to. Like I said, I'm making none off of it. The Rust Belt Mechanic name on this one is the discount, and the coupon code for this one is not there. So thanks for stopping in, guys. I appreciate everything and all of you guys stopping in today. Hopefully you guys have a nice weekend. Take care. You guys stay awesome.